Saudi Arabia has $800 billion in foreign reserves. The Crown Prince is building NEOM, a $500 billion futuristic megacity in the desert. Formula One races, golf tournaments, the World Cup is coming. The kingdom looks unstoppable. Except beneath all the mega projects and the global investments, Saudi Arabia has a problem. A massive problem. And it's getting worse every single year. The problem isn't oil prices. It's not political instability. It's something far more fundamental. And most people have no idea it even exists. Look, Saudi Arabia's transformation is real. Vision 2030 is pumping billions into tourism, entertainment, technology. The Red Sea Project, Qiddiya, NEOM. These aren't just announcements. Construction is actually happening. The Public Investment Fund is buying everything. Newcastle United, billions in Uber, major stakes in gaming companies. The Saudi Pro League is signing Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar for hundreds of millions. By every visible metric, the country is diversifying, moving beyond oil, building a new economy. But here's the thing. All of that, every single mega project, every international investment, every diversification effort is still funded by one thing, oil. And while everyone's watching the skyscrapers go up, nobody's watching what's happening underground, because that's where the real crisis is. Here's what the promotional videos don't show you. Saudi Arabia imports 80% of its food. 80%. The country has 35 million people, growing at 2.4% per year, with almost zero ability to feed them domestically. Why? Water. Saudi Arabia gets about 100 millimeters of rainfall per year. The global average is nearly 1,000. You can't grow wheat without water. Can't sustain livestock without water. Can't build agricultural systems without water. So Saudi Arabia imports wheat from Russia, rice from India, meat from Brazil, dairy from Europe, everything. And that costs money, billions of dollars every single year. Money that comes from oil revenue. But it gets worse. The population isn't just growing, it's urbanizing. Riyadh has 7 million people, in the middle of a desert. Every drop of water either comes from desalination plants on the coast 400 kilometers away, or from underground aquifers. Those aquifers, geologists estimate they'll be depleted within 15 to 20 years, completely dry. Desalination works, but it requires massive amounts of energy. Energy that comes from burning oil and natural gas. Oil that could be exported for revenue. Gas that's needed domestically. Here's the math. More people equals more water needed. More water needed equals more energy for desalination. More energy for desalination equals less oil and gas to export. Less exports equals less revenue to pay for food imports. It's a spiral, and it's accelerating. Climate change is making it worse. Temperatures rising, rainfall decreasing even further. Some projections show parts of Saudi Arabia regularly hitting 50 degrees Celsius by 2050. That's 122 Fahrenheit. You can't work outside in that. Air conditioning demand explodes. Energy costs skyrocket. The constraint isn't political, it's geological, and you can't negotiate with geology. This is exactly why Vision 2030 exists. The Saudi leadership knows oil won't last forever. So the plan is clear. Tourism, entertainment, logistics, finance, technology. On paper, it makes perfect sense. Build new industries, create jobs, reduce oil dependency. But here's what nobody mentions. All of that still requires oil revenue to fund. NEOM, $500 billion. Where's that money coming from? Oil. The Red Sea Project? Oil. Qiddiya Entertainment City? Oil. The Public Investment Fund buying global assets? Oil revenue. Diversification isn't reducing oil dependency. It's spending oil money faster to try to build alternatives before the oil revenue declines. There's a difference between those two things, and the math gets brutal. Saudi Arabia has a young population. Median age, 32. Youth unemployment is 28%. Vision 2030 needs to create millions of jobs. But most of the mega projects, construction, temporary work. And when NEOM is finished, if it's finished, then what? Meanwhile, the population keeps growing. 35 million now, projected to hit 45 million by 2040. Every single new person needs food, water, energy, jobs, housing, healthcare. The diversification projects need to generate enough revenue to replace declining oil income and support 10 million more people and pay for constantly increasing food and water imports. That's not a business plan. That's a race against time. Want to know how hard this actually is? Look at the UAE. Dubai started diversifying 30 years ago. They built the model everyone copies: tourism, finance, logistics, real estate. And after 3 decades of aggressive diversification, oil and gas still account for 30% of UAE's GDP. 30% after 30 years. Saudi Arabia is trying to do the same thing in 15 years, with a population 5 times larger, and worse water scarcity, and faster population growth. The UAE had advantages Saudi doesn't. They started earlier, smaller population to support, better geographic position for trade, natural deepwater ports, and even they couldn't eliminate oil dependency. Here's what makes this different from normal economic challenges. You can't innovate your way out of water scarcity. Saudi Arabia has tried everything. They're the world leader in desalination. Billions invested in drip irrigation, hydroponics, vertical farms, cloud seeding experiments. And it's still not enough, because the constraint is physical. You're trying to sustain 35 million people, growing to 45 million, in a desert with 100 millimeters of annual rainfall. Every technological solution requires energy. Energy requires burning hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are finite. Population keeps growing. Food demand keeps growing. Water demand keeps growing. You can't scale your way out of geography. And here's the trap they're already in. The Saudi government subsidizes everything: water, electricity, gasoline, bread. Why? Because if they didn't, most people couldn't afford to live there. But subsidies cost money, lots of money, around $30 billion per year. That money comes from oil revenue, revenue that's supposed to be funding diversification. So every year they face a choice: fund the mega projects or maintain subsidies. Cut subsidies? People can't afford basics. Social pressure builds, risk of instability. Keep subsidies? Diversification gets underfunded. The transition slows down. They're trapped between today's stability and tomorrow's survival, and there's no good answer. So, what actually happens? There are 3 possible futures. Scenario 1, Vision 2030 works. Tourism and entertainment boom. Technology sectors generate serious revenue. The economy diversifies successfully. Population growth slows. Water technology advances faster. Then crisis deepens. This requires everything going right. No regional conflicts disrupting plans. Oil prices staying high enough during transition. Perfect execution on trillion-dollar projects. Technology overcoming limits that physics says are impossible. Possible? Maybe. Likely? No. Scenario 2. Oil revenue decreases gradually. Diversification provides some alternative income, but not enough. Government starts cutting subsidies slowly. Standard of living drops. Middle class shrinks. Youth unemployment rises further. The country doesn't collapse, it just gets poorer. Slowly at first, then faster. This is probably the most realistic scenario. Scenario 3. Oil prices crash unexpectedly. Aquifers run dry faster than projected. Climate makes regions genuinely unlivable. Global food prices spike. Government can't maintain subsidies. The social contract breaks. This is the nightmare scenario, and it's not impossible. Here's why this matters beyond Saudi Arabia. The entire Gulf model runs on the same assumptions. Oil revenue stays high enough to fund imports. Population stays manageable. Water technology keeps improving. climate doesn't deteriorate catastrophically. If Saudi Arabia, the largest, wealthiest, most resource-rich Gulf state, can't make this work, what does that tell us about the model? UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, they're all running the same race, trying to diversify before the oil revenue declines or the population exceeds carrying capacity. Some have better odds than others, smaller populations, earlier starts, better geography, but they're all facing the same fundamental constraint. This isn't about politics. It's not about religion or culture or governance quality. It's about math. You cannot indefinitely sustain tens of millions of people in a desert with 100 millimeters of annual rainfall using finite hydrocarbon reserves. Eventually, one of those variables breaks. Either population growth slows dramatically, or technology solves water scarcity without requiring energy, or new revenue sources fully replace oil. Saudi Arabia has money, lots of it. They have ambition, world-class talent, advanced technology. What they don't have is water, or favorable geography, or unlimited time. And those are the things money can't buy. The mega projects look impressive. Vision 2030 is genuinely ambitious. The diversification effort is real, but underneath it all, the math is getting harder every year. And eventually, math wins.